village at Arnhem, where a lot of servicemen lost their lives during the war during Operation Market Garden. And I think his grandfather was actually here, took part in that battle.
Sergeant Major Edward John Paulick. Been somewhere around here.
Sleeping in a bus that fucking bounces up and down all the time because the driver's a fucking senile old cunt.
What do you think about the Norwegians?
Very shit people.
That's awesome.
Do you think maybe they drank too much beer?
Too much.
What about Hans? What about the Americans?
The Americans are very, very good people.
Ah, that's good. That's good.
Very normal. When you drink, it's okay. When you smoke, it's okay.
Cool.
But the Norwegian makes big problems.
What about the English filth?
The English?
The English?
No problem with the English people. No problem. Only the Norway.
Good.
So do you like to drink a beer yourself, Hans? Do you like a beer?
Never I drink beer.
I think the worst show is probably there's one in Sweden. It's just
Sweden?
Shit. I don't know why, being the heavy metal capital or whatever, but it was just shit. The only good thing about the show was we got to play behind a cage.
Have another cigarette, Hans.
I'm Jason Mendonça, the vocalist and guitarist of Akercocke.
I'm David Gray, the drummer of Akercocke. This is our rehearsal studio. We formed the band in 1997. We've toured America and Europe and made 5 albums. And here we are, celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the band.
Indeed.
Okay, guys, who is the main Antichrist today? Question 1.
Well, I think it's probably David.
Yeah, I think it's probably me.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
He certainly smells like the Antichrist.
Okay, question 2. What is your recipe for making extreme metal and still manage to keep it different and interesting?
Personally, I like to add a bottle of vodka to to a saucepan and mix it with flour. Knock one out and no. What's the recipe? The recipe for extreme metal? Satanism and blast beats.
Yeah, death metal, thrash metal from the 80s.
Speed metal.
Black metal. Guttural vocals.
The gruff vocals, the screaming vocals.
And throw it all up against the wall. And
kick it around a bit.
And hopefully it comes out
sounding evil.
Sounding like us.
Hi, I'm Peter from Akercocke and I play the bass.
Okay, how long have you been in the band?
I've been in the band about a year.
And do you tell me how did it happen, how did you get involved with Akercocke for the first time?
Just through devil worship mainly. But,
yeah. No, I mean, how did you get involved? I mean, how come you get involved with the band?
Well, I used to play in a band called Corpsing.
Yep.
And we released an album on the Goat Mendes label.
Yep.
And then I began to play some keyboards for Akercocke Live.
Yep.
And then the old bass player decided to leave, so they asked me if I wanted to play bass, and I said yes.
Okay. How many instruments can you play?
About 300.
Okay, next question. You're a specialist in mixing non-metal sounds with metal. Where do you get the ideas and how do you choose the specific instruments?
I think it's anything that we think sounds cool, really, with instruments and sounds and atmospheres. I don't think try not to think about it too much. I think we just try to get a feel for an atmosphere.
And then use the instruments that help to create that atmosphere. So could be from anywhere really.
Just experiment, try to keep ourselves interested and motivated in kind of creating music that we would want to hear if we were buying the CD.
Okay, next question. When you use pipes or cymbals... Do that again, sorry. Yeah, mate.
I'm Rob.
Yep.
And I play keys and samples live for Akercocke.
Okay. Have you played any other bands apart from Akercocke?
Yeah, I've done a few. At the moment, I'm playing with an industrial band called Leachman. Play guitar for that. Play guitar for my own band Concept, which I write the music for as well.
Cool.
And I've got a project where I'm working with my good friend Andy from Denmark Street. It's kind of some psychedelic death metal. And me and Pete from Akercocke have been working on his acoustic stuff as well, which is sounding quite exciting at the moment.
And so, when you were doing that day,
I just have sex, we don't do any music.
when you were doing it that day, were you just playing or were you just thinking about it?
I was playing with my dick, but the sound of it was so good that we had to.
The thing I want to know is,
CD,
do you think Cheltenham is so metal that they have spikes for their window ledges and stuff like that?
I think, yeah.
Like somebody from Mayhem would be proud to live in that. Like they open their window and there's spikes out the window, just they're so metal.
Every fucking morning.
Look at all the spikes all over. I mean, this is something that would make Burzum or Immortal happy. But the real question I want to ask you is, are you only happy when it rains? On tour. Alright.
Next question. When you use pipes or cymbals or other non-typical instruments... Sorry. Sorry.
Come on, Dan. Sorry. Get it together, mate.
Hold it down.
Sorry. Corpsing, cameraman.
It's not supposed to be this laughing, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just read the question so I've got it in my head, yeah?
So we know what it is.
When you use pipes or cymbals or other non-typical instruments for metal and combine it with pure death metal, it's written terribly, do you create this musical tension on purpose? And what is the philosophy behind it? Do you feel like musical antichrist?
That's about
when
4 questions.
This is kids stuff, man. This is really...
That's because I don't speak English stuff.
Yeah,
I can't blame them for that. It's
Okay.
just, you know.
It's a good job for not doing Slovenian.
Good job, this is all off camera. Right, rolling again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, action. When you use pipes or cymbals...
Get it, nigga! Mixed up the bit about the pipes and cymbals.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to talk about your project for the blind, I presume?
Yeah, well, it's just an acoustic project using sort of different influences like flamenco and
Yep.
And it's quite emotional sort of music, but without being gay.
Which is your favorite instrument to play?
I most enjoy the guitar because I find it the most expressive. The way that you're so connected with the note that you're playing.
Yep.
Where you put your fingers, every aspect of your physicality is actually producing the sounds.
Okay.
So, don't play those words. Move on. Dave, for fuck's sake, mate.
Okay. Dave. My colour. He's got his worker on. Working.
His cards.
Is it really bad?
No. That's not at all.
Fucking wrong.
Abdullah Bilal. Next question like this.
Next question.
Tell me any crazy experience on that tour, perhaps?
Crazy experience?
Yeah. On the last tour, which you went on some on the Antics tour on the May.
Yeah. The whole thing for me was a crazy experience.
Yeah?
Just meeting people, and it's like a big adventure, you know?
Yeah.
It's just every minute was something to remember along the way. But yeah, probably getting attacked by zombies in Belfast was quite memorable.
And is Northern Ireland ready to become a band of devil-worshipping rockers? Akercocke claim they use their music to worship Satan and communicate his word. Now, is Northern Ireland really ready for this?
And what's the best thing and worst thing of this tour so far?
The worst thing
was been.
you need out with all these idiots.
We need a pin, yeah, and he just had a pin badge, yeah, and he threw it at a pigeon like 2 seconds before. At a fucking pigeon, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
Where do you think all the evil in this world comes from?
Dave's arse.
Stains.
Yeah, about 3.5 miles up the road from here. Yeah. Next question.
Next question. Your band image reminds us of old school English countryside.
Good.
Do you have some personal satanic experiences in British high society circles as a child?
No.
No, not really. No.
Okay, next question.
What's great about the Antichrist?
What's great about him?
That's a bit of an abstract question.
Yeah, that's not very direct, is it?
No, guys, I don't know if you want to take the piss tonight, but if you do, there's no problem. We can talk about other things. You're coming to Northern Ireland. You're talking about the rape of the bastard Nazarene. You're saying this. This is going to offend an awful lot of people in Northern Ireland, and I want to know why you think you're welcome here.
Why we think we're welcome? Because we've been invited.
We've been invited, and the fans will make us very welcome. I'm sure of that.
I think it means, that's to say, BBC debate.
Yep.
It's a BCC debate.
Yep.
Was really cool. But what was actually the point?
Well, there wasn't really much of a point from where I was sitting, in as much as it was impossible to conduct a serious discussion because there was a satellite delay from where we were sat in Nottingham and the studio in Ireland, which meant the conversation was very, very difficult. So yeah, it was a bit of a debacle.
Yeah, I think the point really was that the Irish fans that know who we are would think that it was funny that we were on television talking about heavy metal, and that possibly if there were some heavy metal fans in Ireland that haven't heard of the band, then they would have heard about us now. And I suppose it's really just about publicity.